Here. So I want to introduce you to Tina Thiessen. She is one of the newest diamonds in Amari, and I've had an opportunity to follow her journey. It's been an inspiration to me. She's just such a warm-hearted, caring person, but also under that warmth and gentleness is like fiery strength. She's really strong, and that's what's encouraging, I think, for each one of us. And I'm just thankful, Tina, that you are available today to join us in this in this call. And I want all of these folks to meet you and hear a little bit more about your story. So thank you for joining us, Tina.
Well, hi everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. It's an honor. And yeah, I can't wait to hear what Laura has, yeah, what kind of questions you have for me and what I can
Sure.
share with all of you.
Yeah, well, let's just get started with tell us a little bit about you. Like, where do you live? How many children do you have? How many years have you been here with Amari?
Okay, so we live in Saskatchewan, Canada. So it's in the prairies. It's some people say it's in the middle of nowhere. We love it. It's our home. We moved here in 2012 from Mexico, me and my husband, and started our new life here in Canada. It was new to us, but it just became our home and we wouldn't have it any other way. So we have three children, ages, the oldest is 14 and the youngest is 3. So I have a toddler and a teenager, and then a 9-year old in between. So our life is not boring at all. So and I also homeschool. So my husband is away in the summer a lot. His business is he assembles grain bins for farmers. So he goes to farmers' places, to the yards, and then he assembles grain bins. I don't know if you know what that is. These big steel bins where they put in grain. He does it in Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, these three prairie provinces in Canada. And so he's away a lot, and therefore I'm at home with, yeah, we homeschool more during the summer so that we have, when Derek is home during the winter, that we have our freedom to go on vacations and have family trips in the winter when he isn't so busy. So that works well for us. And also me and the kids do yard work. We have a 12-acre yard. So yeah, it's just but I do love the energy that I have, and I don't know, I just love being busy. It's such a blessing to be able to do so many things.
Yes, to feel well, able-bodied, able-minded to do those things. We have many folks on this call that can relate to farm life. So they're dropping it in the chat and they're saying that. We've got Jackie in Alberta, Canada area. I know Jazzy's on this call too. And I know we've got a ton of moms out there that have children that are, like you said, from toddler to teenager, that have that. It's almost like raising two separate families, sort of. And homeschooling. I know that we've got a lot that can relate to homeschooling as well. So your story and your experience is very relatable. How did you first hear about Amari? Was it a friend? Was it something on social media or what?
So there again, my story is very different from a lot of people's stories. So I was with another company. Like I joined 2 years ago. It was in June of 2024, so it's 2 years ago. Yeah,
Happy
it's my
Amari
anniversary.
anniversary. Yes,
Well,
I
thank
joined
you.
in June in 2019. So the takeaway of that part of the story, everybody, is your next biggest leader could be joining your team in the month of June. So don't sleep on the June and July months. Go ahead, Tina.
Awesome. Yes. Well, I didn't know that. It's also our Edge anniversary month. So lots of amazing things. June is amazing. So yes, I was with another company. I have been working from home for 11 years already. I've always enjoyed the industry and helping other moms from home. But I just like the company that I was with just wasn't aligning with my values anymore. And I had been struggling with that for a long time. And I had been praying about it. I shared it with my husband. I shared it with my upline. I was struggling because it just didn't align with me anymore. And I just didn't know what to do next. Like I was almost to the point where I felt like I'm just done. I'm just not going to do this thing working from home anymore because this isn't what I like. I am a person that whatever I share, my whole heart is behind it. If my whole heart can't be with it, then it's not worth sharing with other people, right? Like I am real, I'm raw, and I'm honest. If I don't like this thing, I'm not going to share about it. If I like it, I am, and I'm passionate about it. You might hear from it all day, right? Like that's just me. And so I've been searching and praying, and there was really like a couple of months where I went really hardcore praying, and I didn't know what to do. And then one day I came across Amari. And it was actually I started Googling, what are there like what are good companies that have like a good quality products? And I came across Amari. And I did look it up. I did look up the products and the ingredients, and I looked up the compensation plan. And then I started, paying attention to Happy Juice, all these things, and I started looking at it. And I shared it with my husband, and he's like, "Well, like it sounds good." And we had been looking for something for our daughter's tummy issues. And what caught my eye was the mentibiotics in Happy Juice. Like it's like I think this can be the answer. And I know a lot of people are like, we have like when they have tried so many things, they would feel like nothing is going to help. And we were the opposite. Like me and my husband had always been like, we're gonna try and try and try until we find something to help her. And this was our next product, right? And so I did some more research, and all of a sudden I decided to try it, to order it for our daughter. And that's how my journey with Amari began. And we saw some really significant changes in her health within the first 2 weeks. Like I wouldn't say like it has, like after these 2 years, we've seen like a lot of improvements, but the first 2 weeks, we saw something different than we have had seen before from other things that we had tried. And and then I decided that, like, I just felt that it aligned in me that this is my place. And when you feel that you are in the right place, you just go, right? Like there's just nothing. I mean, there's challenges for sure. And I went through some pretty hard challenges, but my why was there, my foundation, right? So yeah.
Yeah. So you did that research, and I love how transparent we are about our ingredients, our studies, all of those things, and our core values. I can relate to what you said because integrity really stood out for me. I remember working in a business, and I had gotten to a place where I didn't feel like what I had accomplished was something I could show other people how to do. And I was not able in an easy way to explain for people how to earn some like basic amount of money on to cover basic expenses. And so I felt misaligned, just like you said. I just felt like I'm not headed down the same path. And so you did that research, and then how did you get connected with an Amari leader? Was it through the like leader assignment, like when an orphan comes in to Amari, or did you do some research on a leader as well, or what?
So then I found out that there was somebody here close by. She was actually living like 15 minutes away,
Ah,
and she borrowed some Happy Juice or some Edge and antibiotics to me until my order came. And yeah, that's how that
that's
all fell into place.
That's so cool. I mean, there are people, we say this often, and it is always true. You have no idea who is out there praying for and searching for something like what we have here. All we need to do is we need to be out there talking about it on, our content, talking about our story, sharing what it is that we're doing. And you can be matched with who that person is. So you never know when something like that can happen. So that is really good. Okay. So, you talked a little bit about your favorite products and what you sort of came in with. Is there anything else you would want to say is a favorite product of yours? I know you were really originally looking for something for the kids. Was there anything else that's a favorite of yours that you want to talk about?
Well, yeah, my favorite product is Happy Juice, and I don't know like if ever anything will beat that. Like I always go back to Happy Juice. I the other day I was just for fun, I asked my daughter Angelica, I asked her like if you would like just by the way you see me, the way I do my things, what would you say is my favorite product? And she thought a little bit about it and then she said, I would say Happy Juice. And then I said, like, why? Can you say why that is? And she said, well, Mom, if you have a very busy day, you tend to say, I'm gonna go make myself a happy juice and then I'm gonna get to work. Like she's like that I can hear that it gives you the energy and that's exactly what it does. Like I shared already, I have a very busy life and I it hasn't always been the case that I had the energy to look after everything that I'm doing and that I could do it with, you know, happiness or like that I could do it with a like that it felt like I was thriving. I was not always in that position. Like there was a time when like my garden, it was all full of weeds and I don't like to see that, but you know when you just when you can't like you just don't feel like it, right? Like you're just
Yeah.
drowning feels like and so I just love my happy juice and that will always I guess be my favorite product. I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't want to say it. Amari's pretty amazing. They might bring out something even more awesome, right? But as of right
Yes.
now,
Well, that is so true. I think that we can find ourselves in a position of just overwhelm. That whether it's organizing a closet or cleaning up a kitchen or taking care of laundry or gardening and getting the weeds out, sometimes we just are so overwhelmed. Like we just that seems like a humongous task when it is not that big of a task, but we are on overwhelm. And I love that you find that Happy Juice helps you with that. And that's one of the things that when I'm helping someone get started, I'm encouraging them to look for. Like, as you are drinking this new product, what I want you to look for is, are you able to be more productive? Are you getting things done that's on your list that you've been walking by for days in your house and not able to have the motivation to get it done? And I ask them to encourage their friends and family around them to pay attention to what's different with them, because I know for me my kids commented on how much better my stress response was, that instead of being easily tripped to angry with them about something, I was able to sort of respond instead of react to whatever was going wrong. Hey, somebody's asking where you primarily share. Do you primarily share on social media or person to person or WhatsApp, or like where are you primarily building and sharing?
so yeah, I am primarily sharing on WhatsApp. It's privately in our Mennonite community. So I grew up, me and my husband both grew up in Mexico in the Mennonite community. And so I know a lot of people from around there, but like the Mennonite people have moved all over the place. Like there's people, lots of Mennonite people in Canada, in the US, Bolivia, like Paraguay, Colombia, like they're everywhere. And through WhatsApp, we're connected. And I have, yeah, I guess I've always been a very social person in the community. So I do have like a lot of connections that way. I used to be a teacher in the community. I worked in a restaurant when I was quite young. And yes, I primarily share on WhatsApp. I try to share sometimes on Facebook or Instagram, but it's just, uh, yeah. You know, when you're so busy already on the platform you share with it's kind
Yeah.
of gets shoved to the side. So.
Yes, there's a great lesson in that. The lessons in that are go where your community is. And I often, when we're talking about social media training with folks, and they're like, oh, well, where should I do all three at the same time? Should I do this or that? The answer is, who's your target audience? And your target audience is you, like whoever you are and where you normally hang out, and where your connections are is where your target audience is. So go to where your target audience is. And I encourage people to not try to do all of them. Don't try to do everything because you're going to end up doing it halfway and the algorithm is going to disregard you. Master one, which is where most of your connections are. And I know that there are some other folks that I've worked with too that use WhatsApp and they're able to do like these chat parties and things like that where they plug people into a topic or a party or whatever. And that's kind of how they have, it's a very different social experience. But for folks that's where they hang out, that's very familiar to them. And the other lesson in that is, to not give up, to figure that out and then really focus on that. So very good. Hey, tell us a little bit about, and I've shared this story for myself before of how, people look at those of us that have accomplished diamond and above, and they think, oh, well, it must have been easy for you. And, or you did it so quickly, or, so many people, or you've done this before, so you had a head start. And look, it's not easy for anybody. Real business has ups and downs, just like life does. Life has ups and downs. And the difference between those that are still standing are those that are okay with that they are all right with that experience because they're anchored in their vision of what their reason why is and what the future is. You've had ups and downs in your business, right? I mean, you've had uplines leave. You've had countries closed that you had business in, and through it all, you still were determined of, I know I'm supposed to be here, and I know people need what we have to offer here. Tell it in your words. What would you say about your perseverance and your experience in building a business?
Yeah, so that is so true, Laura. We that I always say the same thing as the difference. Those of us that are standing, just we stayed through the storm. It's like an example that I heard like just recently. It's like when a captain drives the ship, like when they go onto the sea, right? When the storm comes, they don't let go of the steering wheel, right? They keep going, they keep moving forward. And when that storm is over, they are heading in that direction, right? And we know what happens. Like even if we drive a vehicle, if we go through a big storm, we have like we maybe have to stop until the biggest storm is over or whatever, but then we go again. And that's the same with our business and our lives. We when we have that storm coming over us and it feels like we have to stop, it's okay to stop for a little bit and think about it. But then you want it when that storm has passed a little bit, you want to go again to reach your destination. Otherwise, if you just quit driving, we will never reach our destination. And yes, like Laura said, I had one of my biggest leaders left. And then shortly after that, my upline left. And it was just like a flip of the switch. One day she would be like, up to that day, she would be all full of Amari, 100% on board. And the next day she gave me a phone call and she said that she's leaving. And it was like, I was in shock. Like, it's you don't, I didn't even know how I felt. Like, it was like, this just all the things that you process through that, right? Like, and then after that, like, yeah, my biggest market that I had been building it was Mexico because that's where I was from. Like that was my community, right? And so then the market closed, and there's hundreds of challenges in between those things, but these were the major things that I was uh, the challenges that I was faced with. And my why, um, the research that I did when I joined Amari, what I found there, and that it was an answer to my prayer that I felt aligned with the company and the products. That's what I went back to every single time. And I think that is what is so important, that we have our why. Why am I here? Um, and what is our goal? Like, where are we going? it doesn't matter what happens along the way. It's the start and the finish. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. I like the way Pat also talks about, he kind of shares, he's always taught begin with the end in mind. That, when you start your business, and he gives an example of how he wished that he would have told his wife at the beginning, there are going to be days when I'm going to be home and I'm able to help with Sadie, their daughter, and I'm going to be able to go to doctor appointments and I'm going to be able to do these things. But for now, it may mean I need to do some work on Saturdays, or I need to do some work at nights, or I need to do some things that are getting me closer to what that end is. And the more that we can see it for ourselves, what the end, what the reason is, and be anchored is the only word that I keep coming back to that vision, to that reason, to what we love about the company, what we love about the people, the culture here, then it carries us through those storms that you're talking about. And, I've learned in life to have low expectations for people. And that doesn't mean I think less of people. It just means my emotions and my what I think about things is less dependent on how other people act or react, because I have seen so many things in my business and in my life, and whether it's family or whether it's friends or whether it's work or church or whatever, the only thing that's certain is somewhere along the line, people are going to disappoint you. And you know what? I'm going to disappoint people because we are human and that happens. But I don't attach my identity and I don't attach my future of my business or the potential of my business to what other people do or don't do. And that's been such a valuable lesson for me to understand from. And you walked that out loud. You sort of went from event to event to event that was like, wow, like everything you thought you knew about what you were building sort of flipped upside down, which I'm imagining strengthened your faith as well during a season like that. And that was a great reward and benefit, but also strengthened your team in what you could accomplish together. And you became even more creative of ways to accomplish things and how to get information distributed and all of that kind of stuff. So it's just such an inspiration. I mean, if Tina can go through what she went through, and many of you may experience some similar things. You'll have somebody beloved on your team that you never would have imagined would not be building this with you. And then one day they're not. And that's their decision, their reason. That's not you. That's not your identity. You're not defined by what other people do. You're defined by how you react and what you choose to do, no matter what goes on around you. You may have somebody that introduced you to the company that disappears or goes somewhere else or isn't as present anymore. And the question comes back, well, okay, so what? What are you going to do? Like that person does not do the work for you. They don't pay your bills for you. So what are you going to do? And it develops a resoluteness in us that I saw, really shine through you as well, Tina. So I'm just so happy for you, so proud of you. What are some of the leadership lessons that you've learned in this journey over the last year or so?
Oh, there's many, but I would always say I think what it comes back, excuse me, what it comes back to is what I see in this business is we let our emotions sometimes control too much of the business, and that's where it goes spiraling down. So something that I really learned as a leader is like emotions have to go to the side. Like we as women, especially our hormones are, it can get really, really crazy and it can, I don't know, so the emotions just they don't have any room in my business. Like this is leadership, this is business, and I don't let I give as little room to them as possible. Like if I feel like I have to, like yes, of course, sometimes we have to take um like a moment of silence to ourselves and maybe cry or whatever it is. You know what? That's fine. Go outside or go into wherever you need to go and do it. Like let those emotions out. But if we don't let them out, they like on our own, they might explode somewhere where we don't want it to happen. And I think that's a big part of leadership is just like learning how to deal with that. And it was something else I think that but yeah, also something that because I'm from the Mennonite community, it wasn't very popular. It still is sometimes a challenge where they just think, women aren't supposed to create an income from home. Like I'm dealing with all sorts of things like that too, and then also helping my team just work through those things, right? That you know, um, it's not a bad thing. It all depends on, I guess it comes back to our anchor again. Why do we do this? Like where does it come from? What is our goal with this? And I think that makes a big difference.
Yes, yes. And you've learned about I think Sarah mentioned something about like maybe how much you do for others. Is there some lessons that you've learned in that about what you're providing or what you're doing for others? Is there something in that she mentioned?
So yeah, so because there's also a language barrier. Like my first language isn't English, so maybe some words like I'm always a little nervous how it will come across because my business I talk German all day long, and
Yeah.
so I don't practice my English very much. And but yes, so a lot of people on my team they don't know English, so I translate everything. It's not like it's a low German. It's not the high German that you can just translate on Google. It's low German. It's a dialect. So and there's challenges with that. And sometimes you have to draw the line as to how much like I give and give and give. And then all of a sudden um, I have you have to be able to draw the line and build leaders too that help you do things that you don't just end up doing everything and just being burnt out, you know?
Yes. Yes, that is so valuable. And thank you for sharing that. I mean, I think most people on the call, your English is so good that most people on the call would not have even known that. So imagine she's building a business in a language that is different than what most things are published from that we have, or any of the resources we have. So the leadership that you have to demonstrate to determine what are the priorities of what's important to do, and then also getting it done and learning how to call on others. And that's such a great experience of leadership to go through because it develops leadership in others. And you're able to shine a light and celebrate the skill set that others have. And I think that's a beautiful part of the journey too. That is, something that you stumble into. It's not that you're looking for it, but when it presents itself, you either have the choice to run yourself in the ground and be totally burnt out and not there for your family or there for your business or for anything else, which is not what we want anyone to do. We're the mental wellness company and we value families and the reason why we do what we do here. Or you have the choice to figure out how else could this be done? Who else could help me? How else could I get this done? And I know for us, many times we work sideline, cross line, up line, down line. We're working all different kinds of ways to get things done, to help each other because we're so committed to this movement of the mental wellness movement. So, Tina, thank you so much. You've been so generous with your time today. And I know we've got many folks from your team here on the call too that are cheering you on. It's so good to see them as well. And they're saying what an amazing leader you are, which you certainly are. You deserve all of that recognition. I'm looking forward to seeing you in Mawa. I think I'm going to see you in August at the leader event. Is there anything I didn't ask you about that you wish that you would have said or wanted to say?
No, I think that is everything. I just want to thank everyone too for the kind comments or the in the chat. I didn't get to check all of it, but thank you so much. And also to my team and everyone else that has joined the call. It's special to me. And Laura, thank you for your time as well. And yeah, if you have any questions, if there's anything that, yeah, you would like to know more about or talk to me, I'm always here. I don't check my messenger
Yeah.
very often just because I am so busy on WhatsApp. But yes, I'm here to serve and I just love this community and I love this company and the products. And I just really think I know everybody says that, but I truly wholeheartedly think that we have something special here with David and all of corporate and these amazing leaders like Laura and Pam and Sarah and Beck and all, Pat, everyone is so amazing.
Uh, well, when we've been somewhere else before, it becomes so much more apparent to us. So it really is something special that we all work towards here and keeps us very, very different. Are there any questions? Questions for me, questions for Pam, questions for Tina? Any questions before we wrap up? I'll give it just a couple of minutes. Feel free to drop in the chat. Any questions about the events coming up, about the mental wellness movement group? About anything that Tina shared. Feel free to drop it in the chat. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up then. Thank you so much, Tina, for joining us. Thank you, everyone, for spending your Tuesday morning or afternoon with us. Have a great week. There's the TikTok shop call tonight if you want to hop on that, and the owner's challenge call tomorrow. Thank you, Tina. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's great to hear from you. Thank you.